This is On the Money with Ryan Wheelis, financial advisor and the founder of Allied Wealth, offices all around the great state of Texas. Basically, if you're hearing us on the radio airwaves or if you're watching us on YouTube, anywhere around the country, click, call. We'd be glad to help you out, get you started on your own financial flight plan. Ryan, we were doing a series here, actually. You were talking about some of the things that are affecting, or actually how baby boomers are affecting and changing what retirement looks like today. What does that mean to you, Ryan?
Well, Spike, I mean, the old days of working for the same company for 30 and 40 years and getting a pension and the gold watch and the retirement party, it's kind of going by the wayside. You know, we talk about less than 14% of companies today offer pensions. And what's really interesting about that is even though the company may offer the pension, a lot of the people elect the lump sum. They don't take the pension payout, right?
Yeah.
And so it's interesting, you know. And so what we talked about in the prior segment was...
Yeah, give us, if you don't mind, give us a little recap you did. Yeah. What were the things? And we do encourage you, go back, click on the last video, but if you're listening to us on radio, you obviously missed the last few minutes. But that's why we capture these things here on your YouTube channel. What were the 5 things that were affecting retirees, boomers, before?
Well, yeah, right now it's longevity, living longer. And you told a story, Spike, about the couple in Houston, the mother and daughter, 94 and 115, right here in Houston, Texas. Man, it's crazy, you know. And we're talking about already, I alluded to the fact that we don't have pensions anymore, okay? And if we're living longer and we're foregoing that guaranteed monthly paycheck that we can't outlive, yet longevity is our biggest threat. I mean, does that make sense to do? It's one of these things we really have to navigate that very carefully. And a lot of times we're forced to manage our own investments, right? I mean, our 401k plan is our 401k plan. You don't have an advisor coming around your desk every single quarter going, hey, John, hey, Ryan, hey, Spike. This month, things don't look real good in our forecast. Let's reallocate your 401k to try to maximize return and minimize downside risk. That doesn't happen. And then once you retire, you're forced to figure out how to manage your money yourself as well, okay? And then a lot of people are not aware of the amount of taxes they're going to pay in retirement. I think taxes are the biggest threat and one of the biggest expenses you will have in your golden years. And lastly, folks are getting part-time jobs to deal with some of this stuff, Spike. So those are the first things we talk about. We're going to continue the list, though, about how baby boomers will reinvent the retirement landscape. And it's already happening, folks. It's underway right now. It's one of the biggest changes we've seen in a long, long time in retirement and investing. And one of these things, Spike, is it has to do with going back and listening to, I think it was a podcast or a YouTube, something or another we'd share with each other where these guys, I think they were asking baby boomers questions.
Yeah, they were asking they asked folks age 75 to 85, what were your biggest retirement regrets? And one of the things that you had said was that nowhere in the top of the list was it the savings or was it, the amount of return. It was about lifestyle choices.
Yeah, staying active and staying fit, right? And, if you're going to live longer than any generation in history, right, I would want my quality of life to be as good as it possibly can, as long as it possibly can. I don't want to be on this planet, in a facility, suffering from Alzheimer's. Not that you can totally prevent that, but I mean, I just can't. I don't want to be that way, right? And I don't know anybody who does. I hear, people tell me all the time, Ryan, I've got my 45 as my, cure for Alzheimer's. God forbid that happens, right? And, and some people say that, and so it's just one of these things where ideally, people today are understanding they're living longer, so they are staying healthy. They're staying fit. They're active. I mean, Spike, look at pickleball, right? Pickleball has exploded, okay? I bet you where I sit right now, where you sit, there's probably 10 pickleball courts within a 9-iron from us,
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of folks that are getting up in the years are playing pickleball. I mean, I saw recently John McEnroe and Andre Agassi were playing doubles in pickleball against somebody else. I think it was a women's tennis team, like Martina Navratilova or somebody else. It was really interesting, right?
And then don't forget about the pickleball legislative risk, because there was a condo company that sued the public park and the city because the pickleballs, they make like a loud punk, And so it was so loud in the morning that people were like, this is my life savings over here in this condo. We got to get rid of these pickleball courts. So there's pickleball legislative risk.
That's hilarious. And there's a lot more legislative risk in your retirement, by the way, folks, that Spike's not alluding to. But it's interesting because so people are listening, thank God. And folks, if you're not, think about this. Don't retire unless you have a vision for what you're going to do. Don't do it. Have a vision. Work towards that vision, but stay fit, stay active, stay out there, stay doing stuff. Okay. And
it's not just going to the gym, though. I mean, there's a lot of things. Your community rec center, you can volunteer. Your church, your faith, whatever, you can volunteer. There's a lot of different things you can do. And when people talk about the dollars and cents or having a sense of purpose, it's sometimes the sense of purpose is of more value.
Well, Spike, not only that, it's also keeping your mind sharp. I've got a lot of people that they come to me and say, Ryan, I could retire from Exxon and they will hire me back as a contractor. Should I do it? And I'm like, listen, yes, you should. Work 4 months a year, work 12 months a year, work 6 months a year. Figure that stuff out. Make sure your mind's sharp. My dad, okay, he's approaching 65. He's an airline pilot. He's going to be forced into retirement as an airline pilot at 65. We're hoping they're going to pass the legislation until he gets to 67. We don't think it's going to happen unless it happens in the middle of the night, right? And Dad's like, son, what am I going to do? I'm going to get my RV and go travel. I'm like, yeah, that's going to last about 2 years. So he's like, what do I do? And so we're looking at him right now and trying to find some type of part-time contract flying work just to keep flying and keep his mind sharp. That's important stuff. And he doesn't need the money. Dad's done well. And plenty of people who are in that situation don't need the money, but they should still find something to do to keep your mind sharp. One of my favorite clients, rest in peace, Albert Gutierrez. That's why I'll say his name, by the way. Albert worked on the mud board of several municipalities up until the day he died, and he did not need the money. He did it for the social aspects. He did it to keep his mind sharp, and he even would tell me all the time, Ryan, I'm going to quit doing this. Albert, don't. I think your health and where you are today is largely because you keep working and keep the social aspects of what you did. And so he believed that and stuck with it till the end.
How many times have you heard a story, and it might be because it's so incredible to hear, but where somebody quits working and 6 months later they pass away? And I'm talking about somebody later in their retirement year, but 77, they finally retire. 6 months later, we're looking for that sense of purpose, something that keeps us going, something that keeps our mind going. And friends and community are really important. And by the way, friends and community are not social media. That is not in your computer. That is not in your phone. It's face-to-face.
Yeah, and I support that 110%. We're having a hard time with the kids right now at home with the social media crap, and they're 4 and 6. It's mind-boggling, and we're having to deal with that. And we are, by the way, we're very strict about that kind of stuff. I don't want my kids. I told my daughter who's 6 to some game called Roblox. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I'm like, Arya, you're living your life through this video game, and that's not how you live life. We're done with this. So anyway, which brings me to the next point, Spike. Paying college tuition instead of saving for retirement. Folks, let me tell you something. I am not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to know. And I know this is hard, okay? You come from the generation that my parents came from. Go to college. You'll be ahead of everybody else, and you will get the job coming out of college, $80,000, $120,000 a year, and have a much better chance of upward trends, okay? And I think back in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, that was the case. I don't believe that is the same thing anymore. I don't believe that exists anymore, okay? I see people forego saving for retirement, putting their kids through school. The kid comes out and gets a job at Starbucks. The kid could have gone to get the job at Starbucks without a college education. Okay, now maybe they have a better chance of climbing the ladder at Starbucks with a college degree. All right, but I just be careful with this, folks. Don't sacrifice your retirement savings to put your kids through school, because you will find yourself in a situation to where you didn't save enough money for retirement, and you can't retire because your kid went to school. And guess what? Whether you put your kid through school or not, they're not going to take care of you. It's not going to happen. All right. So
and I want to reiterate this point with you, because one of the biggest things, we'll go back to, was it Einstein who said this eighth wonder of the world, compound interest, right? You can't make up that compounding time. And we understand you love your kids, you want to send them to college, or maybe help them out with the down payment on that first house, or maybe you want to help them with the college loans after they're out. The other part of it, Ryan, and we'll probably have to talk about this in another video, is being a wonderful, caring person and being in that sandwich generation. So not only were you in your 50s, you're in your high earning years, you should be saving for your own retirement, but maybe we're also having to take care of our aging parents because they weren't able to save enough because of exactly what you're talking about, how baby boomers right now are changing the entire landscape of retirement. The sandwich generation, are you dealing with folks with that?
Sure, we are, bud. We are, for sure. And how about this one? How about lower Social Security benefits? See, take somebody who didn't save because they put their kid through college, okay, and now they're retirement age, or they got to age 62 and they got laid off. Happens, okay? Yeah. We're prepared for it. What are they going to do? The first thing they're going to do is take Social Security. They're going to take it at 62, which is why the national average Social Security check is so much lower when compared to the national average full retirement age benefit. It's massive. So we're taking lower Social Security checks, all right? One more thing we're doing is retiring with debt. We do see some of that, especially these days. I actually am more supportive of it these days than I have been in the past, Spike. And the reason why I say that is some folks have rates on mortgages that are 1% and 2%, or to 1.5%, 2%, 3% in some cases. Very low rates on mortgage. And lastly, we see a lot more people staying local. They're not moving abroad and that sort of thing. They're staying local or not getting the second home, that sort of thing. So, folks, listen, these are ways that the retiree, the baby boomer generation is changing the retirement landscape. We help folks deal with all this changing landscapes, how to deal with this stuff, how to manage your investments, how to pick the pension, how to time Social Security, how to figure out if you can afford to pay for your kids' college. We help you with all this stuff. All you got to do is pick the phone and call us. 844-944-7555. 844-944-7555. My team of advisors is standing by. We're here to help, folks. If you need help, get help, okay? They say knowledge is power. That's not right. Applied knowledge is power.
And what I also like that you say is that we work with the assets that you have to create a plan for your future. So I don't want you out there, folks, listening to us or watching us on the YouTube going, I don't have enough. I don't think I saved enough. I am one of those people trying to help my kids and help my parents. Let's take a look at what you have, what you've done, and put together a plan with the assets that you already have created. Folks, you can call the phone number right now if you're listening on the radio, 844-944-7555. Folks are standing by. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel right now, you can click below. You can go to the website, or you can also go to retirenowhouston.com or retirenowaustin.com and schedule your own no-cost appointment for your financial flight plan. More with Ryan Wheelis and On the Money right after this.